All right, folks, good morning. Let's get airborne with their weekly options brief. Happy January 25th. What an incredible day. I love this day, January 25th. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the birthday of my little princess, Keely Grace Buckley, is 15 years old. Man, she is just save my. Your kids aren't supposed to save your life or change your life, but guess what? This little girl, young lady now, who got her permit this morning, just lights up my world, man. She is a just an incredible soul, just an incredible human being, and you really do see God, creator, source, whatever word you want to use, in the eyes and the hearts of your children. Just a great day. Love my princess. So had a great morning so far. Stay off the roads. Not the best driver in the world, but she's a hell of a cheerleader. She's a hell of a scholar, and I will make a driver of her yet. So good stuff. Really happy with that. Oh, Arrow, man, it's interesting. So it's gonna be fun. I think they're on day 2 of this 3-day tech conference. Do me a favor and throw a registration here so you can get access to the replays. There's a lot of, it's like all these people talking about the tech rec, what they're investing in. There's some charting people. There's some fundamental people. There's volatility people. There's me. You can skip me. I think I'm tomorrow at noon or 3 or something like that. I forget when I am, but check it out. I listened to a couple of them yesterday. Couple really good, couple really bad. It's just funny to see. It's like fighter pilots, man. Watching other people fly and fight an airplane. There can be some better. There can be some worse. Not too many better than me. Just ask me. So I'll leave that there. Always interesting. It's funny because my brother, Orestes Lorenzo, he is on our advisory board for our foundation, building a great team for our advisory board with Carcillo, Cody Chandraw, AJ. So Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a hockey fan, I want you to sit up straight. Don't tell anybody. But the Panthers play Boston Saturday night. Guess who's coming? Guess who is a guest of the Top Gun Options suite? Of the Top Gun Options and the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. Bobby fucking Orr. So Bobby Orr and his grandkids are coming to watch the Boston game with us. The GOAT and my buddy. So this is a Justin Lepre hookup. So Justin, the guy who picked up Justin literally off the streets of New York City and gave him a job on Wall Street. Is a Southie, grew up in Boston, played hockey with Bobby. They're literally best friends. They've been best friends their entire life. This guy went and played hockey in the Soviet Union in the 80s. So when Justin and I brought this guy to the Panthers game, he and I are best friends. He lives up in Palm Beach. He lives next to Billy Joel. So that should give you an idea of the type of guy we're talking about. The money doesn't matter. This dude's like a Southie and like a salt of the earth guy. But he's like, Bobby Orr is? I'm like, duh. And my son Matthew's like jumping out of his skin. He's like, yeah. He's like, he's best friends with me. Let me give him a call. So he called him. He's like, hey man, this guy runs a foundation for veterans and first responders, and Bobby Orr is like one of the biggest supporters of veterans and first responders. So I'm putting this out there to the universe. I'm going to ask him Saturday night if he's going to help our foundation here. So yeah, he lives up in Jupiter, so he's just north of us. So pretty sure at a minimum, this guy's like, Bobby's going to help your foundation a lot. So the universe is good, man. So Bobby freaking Orr. Hold on a second. So this is the type of people I love dealing with, right? So at the hockey game, this guy Jack, his name's Jack Doyle, of course, typical Southie name. He's like, what's your home address? He's like, I'm gonna have Bobby send you something. I'm like, yeah, I gave my home address, and I'm like, this was a couple days before Christmas. Couple days, I think it was 3 days before Christmas, we went to the game with Jack. He's like, give me your address. Literally the next day or 2 days, a day and a half later, this came. So you guys probably know that famous picture. So this came for me. And then one of these came for Matthew, signed by Bobby Orr. To Matt Wiz Buckley, given with great respect for a true hero. Many thanks for all you do for the country. Bobby Orr, number 4. 2 days after the hockey game. And Matthew got one of those too. Those are the type of people I like meeting and partnering with. The guy's like, give me your address. I'm going to get something for you. I'm like, yeah, here it is. Whatever. Nothing will happen. Boom. So Bobby Orr is coming to the Top Gun Options No Fallen Hero Suite, and we're going to speak into existence since he's going to help us with the foundation. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to meet him. I mean, so good stuff. We're putting a lot of good stuff into the universe, and hopefully we're going to help save and change some lives. All right, let's get going. Real quick, here's the podcast with Cody. Got some great feedback on this. He's already like blown away some of my other podcasts, which is great because if you're bullish on the psychedelic space, you got to listen to Cody. He's the guy in the psychedelic space. If you want to listen to the podcast because you're driving or on the road or going to the gym, here's the podcast. But if you want to watch the video, you can watch the video. So there's both of those. Talks about what the future looks like, some stuff he's hinting at that's coming. Obviously, with some of his investments, he can't talk publicly. I couldn't talk publicly about the REIT I invested in until everything got signed. Healing REIT. So he showed me the first place in Oregon that we're opening right near a VA hospital. And it actually looks like, for the folks that have been to the Mission Within, it looks like the Mission Within. It's like right out of Central Casting. It's a beautiful place in Oregon. The wood, I could smell the place through his camera looking at it. It felt like home. The treatment rooms for the MDMA and the psilocybin and this is coming, folks. This is it. You guys are at the leading edge of the next big thing. And it's probably the only big thing because what a great segue, Wiz. It's almost like I practiced this because of this. Did you see Russian media last night? Nuke Berlin. Russian state media, Russian state, not like they're CNN, although CNN is our state media, calling for an attack on Berlin. My daughter's birthday, January 25th, 2023. These are the headlines. So this morning, I think at 10 or whenever it is, Joe Biden's supposed to be announcing M1 Abrams tanks. Nuke Berlin. This is a real headline. This isn't a Tom Clancy novel. It didn't take long for Russian officials to start foaming at the mouth. So, I can't even. It's insane. I don't. I don't even know. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this, folks, because this is just literally in 24-hour periods. It gets old saying it's going to get worse. So only one of, let's map it out real quick. I was going to say one of two things, but let's say three. One of three things can happen. Tanks get delivered, the Leopards, the M1s, and this doesn't happen like overnight, folks. The one Pentagon report I read or interview, unconfirmed source, he's like, this ain't happening next week or a couple months. This might take a year or a couple years. You think Ukrainian tank dudes just, hey, sit in this thing, drive. You look at an M1 Abrams tank, folks, you got to go to like tanker school. And it's computers and targeting, and it's not a Hornet, but so why am I rambling about that? Because choice one is they get all these tanks, they beat back this Russian horde. The Russian horde surrenders or gives up and goes back to Russia. That's why we're doing this, right? That's why you're doing this and I'm doing this, is because Russia is going to lose. They're going to surrender. They're going to give up. Okay. What's choice number two? Choice number two is exactly all of this. Boom. So, folks, this was a two non-NATO countries kind of slugging it out in a skirmish. Invaded another country and boom. So if Russia, kind of used nukes or something like that, NATO would have been like, oh, geez, well, you're not a NATO country. Kind of sucks. This sucks. But we can't risk nuclear annihilation. Now, and I've been briefing you since a year ago, folks, when or if, mainly when, Russia wakes up and goes, okay, now it's actually no longer a special military operation. Now we declare war on this country, which means any country helping them, we also declare war on. Folks, I can't believe I'm fucking sitting here talking like this. World War I, the war to end all wars. Man will never be stupid enough to do something like this again. World War II. World War III. So now that NATO is no shit, all right, now we're giving you main battle tanks. Did you see the doomsday clock yesterday? The scientists that control the doomsday clock, it has never been closer to midnight. We are 90 seconds on the doomsday clock from total annihilation of the planet. So my beautiful daughter getting her permit today here in South Florida is at risk of being vaporized over who rules Crimea. I swear to God, folks, I didn't have this on my bingo card. I had the Israel-Iran World War III starts in the Middle East, like Revelations or Nostradamus or something like that. So I can't. I can't. Exactly. The colonel's right, man. Anybody see any M1 Abrams tanks zipping around NATO countries? No, we can't give them that. Ukraine? Fast forward to what broke yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Your tax dollars at work. Ukraine rocked by corruption scandal. Wave of top officials resign. Sports cars, mansions, luxury vacations as people suffered. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Did you not see this on CNN, MSNBC, breaking news on ABC? Not a fucking word. If it was a word, it was quick and gone. Can't stand the man. Donald J. Trump was impeached because before he was going to give another nickel to Dirty Zelensky, he said what? You need to do a little cleaning up, dude. How dare the president do that? Make aid conditional on not being corrupt? Yes, you're impeached. What? You mean don't look into the vice president's crackhead son getting paid a shitload of money to do nothing? We actually have the vice president of the United States on video saying, so I told him, if you don't fire that son of a bitch prosecutor who's looking into my son, you're not getting the money. It's on tape. Instead, we get some fat, pasty lieutenant colonel. Call me Lieutenant Colonel Vindeman. Okay, Jelly Donut. So, ladies and gentlemen, billions and billions flowing into Ukraine and making the elites richer. I'm begging, fucking scrounging to find money to save veterans' lives in this country, to send them to a foreign country. And this is where our tax dollars are going. You good? You good? That Ukrainian flag in your bio, you good? You want to die? You want to get vaporized for that? I'm sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. Showing a foreign flag in the people's house. That's the picture right there, folks. Look at the smiles. $102 billion committed to this country. We are sprinkling fucking weapon systems all over Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember what I reported on last month? I think it was the Pentagon. The Pentagon failed its 5th audit in a row. It can't find hundreds of billions of dollars. But you think sprinkling $100 billion into a corrupt foreign country is just fucking super. I've lost it. I've lost it. We've lost it. What are we doing? I swear to God, folks. What? So, you know, I'm trying to teach you all to project your thoughts forward in space and time. Let's take a little bit of a break. And of course, since I was out, I was forced to go to this place. I want to take a break, and I want to ask the 140 people in this room. Next January 1st, 25th, my daughter will be 16. Oh, Charles, did you see the, who was it? I watched a good interview the other day. They're like, so Taiwan is sitting there going, hey, United States? Yeah, Taiwan here. By the way, we fucking paid for all of these tanks and F-16s and shit like that. Where are they? Like, we wrote checks. You got a deadbeat country in Eastern Europe. Where is our shit? This guy's like, dude, we're like tapped out. What? Not only is our country broke, we're dealing with a deadbeat country in a regional conflict as Taiwan Semiconductors, they make a bunch of shit. They're actually a better democracy, in my opinion, than Ukraine. Oh, we know you paid us for all that shit that you bought, but we're a little busy over here. So Charles brings up a great point, ladies and gentlemen. We are emptying our shit. So I want to ask you, I want to take a break. I gave you 3 scenarios, right? Exactly, Jeff. So if you're Russia, you're calling Iran right now and go, dude, those Shahid drones or whatever they're called, make a kabillion of them. We're going to have drone swarms. You guys want to send Patriots? You want to send HIMARS? You're going to spend $1 million a missile to knock down my $10,000 drone. I'd call it a stalemate. You want to call it a victory? You can call it a victory. Stalemate in Iraq. We lost Afghanistan to dudes in Toyota trucks and caves. Let's send some F-35s. So I'm going to ask you, folks. I'm going to ask you. Next Keely's birthday, January 16th, we're going to remember this brief, and I'm going to ask you, what happened? 1, Russian surrender, everything out of Ukraine, completely gone. Sorry. You type a 1 in the chat box if that's what you believe. I didn't finish. So 2 would be, 1 is that. We put all these tanks and everything in there in Russia. Putin's dead. They surrender. Sorry. They're not even in Crimea. They're not in the Donbass or any of those. They're gone. Complete victory for Ukraine and NATO. That's choice one. Choice two, I don't want to say, but I'm going to say it. Russia goes apeshit. Blitzkrieg, tactical nukes, Ukraine's essentially leveled. That's two. Three, some sort of negotiated peace. They keep some of the Donbass or some Crimea. What is it? Now I can drink my coffee. Oh, man, there's a bunch of twos. There's some threes. Holy shit, man. This is troubling to me, folks. Is everybody watching this? Wow. Holy crap, guys. Yeah, there's a couple fours in there. Status quo, Goose, and Ken. Ladies and gentlemen, out of the still fighting, 2 threes. Wow. Folks, I want you to stop, and I want you to scroll up. Unless we're, look at this. Look at your responses. Not one. Did I miss any? Oh, Bob. Yeah. Jesus Christ, folks. Not one. So, unless we're all stupid, distinct possibility. Not really. Unless we're all stupid, the leadership of our country, the leadership of NATO, is not listening to at least 60 of you all so far. That's shocking to me. I thought we needed 10, 11, 12 ones going, no. All this shit's going to pour in, and they're going to beat the Russians back, and they're just going to surrender. Apparently, you all are a student of history, enemy at the gates, and shit like that. Wow. I am blown. I don't know how to take this. I actually wrote that down. I'm like, because when you wake up to the morning and you see the top of the Drudge Report, nuke Berlin, I'm like, okay, that's great. Hunter negotiates a peace deal. Arthur, it took 10 years for Russia to leave Afghanistan. And guess what, Arthur? How many did they lose? I forget off the top of my head, which is sad. 40, 50,000? How many did the Soviets lose in Afghanistan? Arthur, they've lost what? Triple, allegedly, what they've lost in Afghanistan, and they're getting ready to launch another offensive. So again, folks, I can't. Somebody asked yesterday about getting long. First of all, everybody, give yourself a golf clap. Who likes making $3,600 in a day? We're pretty damn good with these Tredges. The last 3 or 4 times I've talked about Tredges, when the hair on the back of my neck was standing up, I got a haircut yesterday. What happened? Boom. So before I'm going to get tactical real quick. I know I'm jumping around, but listen to me. Because some people, I got an email yesterday like, I didn't get out of the Tredges last time. Dude, I'm not your airplane. If you, not me, I'm talking to you. You talking to me? I'm talking to you. Are you talking to me? Yeah. Dude, lady, if you like making $3,600 in a day, get out. If you, let me go over here real quick because I'm looking at my other screen as we're skidding along 39.50, which we talked about yesterday, didn't we? I said 30. Look at this. I drew that line right down. Look at right in the middle of the spaghetti we said, right? Look at 39.50 right there, folks. So if you, ladies and gentlemen, think, no way, Wiz, boing. If you're a boing and you got the burner trades on from yesterday, close them. Take the $3,600 and get bullish. If you're not, we'll talk about Microsoft in a second. If you think reverse boing, then sit here and eat your popcorn and look at your SPX making money. Okay? What I'm rambling about is this. I cannot believe that there was not one in the chat box. So between now and this time next year, bigger shit show, bigger train wreck, raging inflation, or a deeper recession and a bear market. Look at this, 39.50, man. That ain't a good looking chart. Wow. Whew. All right, we got to move on, man. But so just take stock, ladies and gentlemen. Now there's 150 people in here. I'd say about 80 people answered my 1, 2, 3. And I love when you all put 2.5s or 4s because you're critical thinkers. I just kind of broke them up into 3 chunks. We win, they win, and, a negotiated settlement. Wow. Okay. So how many of you saw Microsoft after hours yesterday? What an awesome thing to see. How many times have I told you earnings are what? 30, 70. Now, Eric, I have given my counsel, and I'm not the broken record guy. Jack is, he and I might be going in a couple weeks to a CU hockey game. So he wants to play club hockey. They have 2 club hockey teams. They have like a D1 club hockey team and a D2. So we might actually fly out there, but we're going to go meet with the commanding officer of the ROTC unit. And yeah, I just don't, I'm going to surround them in my pink bubble of love and protection, but they're your kids. They got to live their life. So earnings, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw Microsoft after hours yesterday and you're new, so first of all, welcome to all our new Full Throttle members. You learned so much in the span of 10 minutes, and now is the entire earnings call. Earnings, ladies and gentlemen, are 30-70. 30% of an earnings call is, here's how we did. Did you see what happened after hours yesterday? So what did we brief yesterday in our thing? I said, hey man, there's a slight chance that they might have lowered the net so much that if they kind of walk over it, the market will react. It did. Microsoft did this in the blink of an eye. So instead of the earnings being an absolute horror, they were just terrible. So you know what happens? The computers see X equals horror, sell. X, Y equals terrible, buy. And that happened for about 10, 20 minutes until what? So there's your 30. There's your 30% of the Microsoft earnings call. Then the 70% is what you're watching right now in Microsoft and in the market. 70% was the forward guidance. Did you listen to the CFO? We're all going to die. Did I think AWS or not AWS? They you can look, you can dig to the pile of shit to find the pony. Azure, thank you, Barry. I've seen your moment here. Exactly, Goose. Once the dude started saying, here's how we kind of did. It was not horrific. It was only terrible. Yay. However, looking forward, everything sucks. I was like, ooh, slam. So, ladies and gentlemen, ipso fatso, don't trade earnings. I told you, man, this might be a big popcorn week. I'm like, and it's funny because even after hours, Amazon, all the tech names went up a little bit. And I'm sitting here going, huh. And then my phone blew up. I'm like, and my mastermind group was like, oh my God, the guy, and then slam. But it is you got, if you're new to Full Throttle in a span of an earnings call, you got a great education. 30%, here's how we did, and we did better than horrific. Because again, a lot of retail traders like, oh my God, how could they be horrific earnings and the stock go up? There you go. But the forward look sucked. How bad is it now? It turned around in the blink of an eye. If you saw the spike, it was funny. It was like up 10% and then ended up, complete reversal. All right. Well, it's recovering somewhat, but we had this massive spike to like all the way up to here, and then it's probably a 10 to 15 point swing. I'd say 15, 16 point swing. Okay. So you know, well, it'll turn here a little bit, but this is not bullish. All right. How about Boeing? Boeing tumbles. Did it top out at 252? I didn't see where it topped out. So yeah, that's a big swing. Boeing tumbles on unexpected Q4 loss. As what? High costs hit earnings. Ladies and gentlemen, where do high costs get passed on to? Unless Boeing announces today it's a 501c3 charity and goes, oh, you know what? We're going to suck that up. Who pays? American, Delta, FedEx, the United States military. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've beaten this dead horse, but I'm going to beat it again. Easing price inflation is transitory. I love Peter Schiff's article on this. We already beat him last week when the Unilever CEO from Davos said what? Yeah, I don't care kind of what the inflation numbers are saying. I don't care what Joe Biden or Jean-Claude Van Damme says about inflation. I'm kind of up here with my prices, and I like it. Not only do I like my prices up here, I think I'm going to squeeze a little bit more out of my consumers. Whoa. Greedflation. Entirely possible that food brands are profiteering from price hikes. So, folks, now you're starting to see why, even with these little bits of green shoots, right? The little bit of good news every once in a while, like, hey, an inflation number came out this morning. It's only 3 alarm fire. Let's buy real quick. Okay, so we're not celebrating that it's not a 5 alarm fire? Yeah. Okay. So we are in this really, really weird area right now where we have cost-cutting, layoffs, raging inflation, and a Fed raising rates. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if you're Charlie Munger or Warren Buffett. Nobody has traded in this type of market. Nobody has traded in everything I just said and this. Whoever asked, was it Barry or whoever yesterday, asking about the VIX, when I'm like, holy shit, man. Holy shit. Never seen this. We are in a horror environment. So Simon White is a Bloomberg macro strategist. U.S. stocks face 25 more downside. No shit. Goose is right. There are no Salman Smith Barney or did everybody read Liar's Poker? If you haven't read Liar's Poker, you failed as an investor and a trader. Buy Liar's Poker today and read it. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, you can do all the booger eating and the math. Awesome, Eric. Good. People have read it. Liar's Poker is a great book. You know, this to Goose's point, good segue. He and I are a good team together. Leading indicators roar recession. You look at all the booger eating, ladies and gentlemen. Good, Paul. Awesome. So Andrew's reading my show notes here because I'm going to make a segue. Let me finish up the inflation thing. We talked about this earlier in the week. The market's hoping price increases will cool rapidly. They're not. They're not. When the blue and white jet that I own that's in California that's being used for contract work, I had, because I'm fucking smart, an acceleration clause in that contract. Like, hey, if we want to buy this at the end, this will be the price. I'm like, no. A year later, I have no idea what's going to be going on. I want an acceleration clause in there because I'm fucking smart. You look at the price of L39s now, they're probably double to triple than what they were a year ago. I'm a smart dude. So, to Andrew's point, what happens now? What happens now is exactly what Andrew just asked. Exactly. If we break 39.50 with airspeed, it's look out below. And I think we're going to break it. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, baby. Break right through here. That little print right there, look out below. How many of you like making $4,000 in a day? I love this shit, man. So, and notice I haven't said one word about the Amazon synthetic stock I just put on. Who gives a shit? It's out 2.5 years from now. If anything, I'm going to do a bear call. Maybe we're in weekly options. I'm going to pound Amazon into the dirt with a bear call spread, a weekly. There's the break, 39.50. Come on, baby. There it is. Look at that big leg down. Boom. Now you pick up airspeed. What's the 50? 39.38. The next stop is 39.38. Again, as I'm easing my way into the tactical part of the brief in trading, manage your Tredges. If you like making $4,000 in a day, close it. If you think there's more to come, don't close it. Brief complete on trade management. Step 5 of our trade plan. Here's your mid-course guidance. Do you like $4,000 since yesterday? Oh, okay. Close it. If you like $4,100, man, this is picking up steam. Good stuff. Okay, now to Barry or whoever asked about it yesterday, part of the brief. We currently, I think we talked about this last week, we have on a 25-30 bull call spread in one of our portfolios. And I am... How many times have I told you, ladies and gentlemen, the VIX can pop what? Fill in the blank for me. 10, 20, 30% in the blink of an eye. The VIX is almost up 10% in 48 minutes of trading. How about a little fire scarecrow? So we are finally waking up, getting a little bit of fire here. But folks, I mean, look, is this a big run up? I don't know. We are what, 5, 6 days away from February. I told you a February shit show. Does everybody have their VIX on? So Barry, or whoever it was that asked yesterday about VIX, I said we already had a VIX trade on, but let's go look at some. So Tina, whenever anybody asks me about the VIX and if it's too late to get into the VIX, I give a couple answers. One of the answers is it's never too late to get into the VIX if you believe it's going to keep running. To be honest with you, Tina, the VIX at 21, after giving you 39 minutes of one of the best briefs I've done in my life, is shockingly low to me. If you had taken me from sitting in the board of trade, a little fatter and a lot whiter, living in Chicago in Naperville, and projected me forward in a time machine to today, and you showed me what was going on, I would literally run from Peak 6 Investments trading floor down the long hallway across Grant Street, the covered bridge, into the SIBO VIX pit, and I would buy as much VIX as I could with both hands. That's 2008 whiz. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact that the VIX is at 21 with everything I just briefed you on makes sense, though, doesn't it? When did this war start? A year ago. That's known. We're in a war. When did raging inflation start? When Joe Biden essentially became president. We've been dealing with food, baby milk, supply chain issues. It's transit. We've been dealing with so much bullshit for the past 2 years that the VIX has said, what? I know this. So yeah, it's a great way to say it, right? We have a little bit of VIX fatigue. There's a lot of people who are getting tired of, you know what, man? Nobody it ain't volatile right now. The uncertainty index is low right now because what? Things are kind of certain. Inflation ain't going anywhere. The Fed's still going to crank up raises. Earnings are going to suck. Vladimir Putin's a fucking madman. There's nothing really that's uncertain right now. Does that make sense? So I'm giving Tina a little bit of a red team. Is it too late to get into the VIX? The immediate answer is no. If you think, holy shit, the world's going to go to hell in a handbasket, then you buy it with both hands. However, stepping back from being so close to all of this, I look at what? And I go, this is why you are seeing, I have a 1-year chart of the VIX up. This is why you are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, this. So spike lower, spike drift lower, spike really drift lower, gentle spike, drift lower, drift lower, drift lower, drift lower. So we are in a very drift lower time, right? So yeah, there you go, Goose. See? He typed it better than I could say it. So this but how many times, folks, do I do one of these speeches and like clock? It's kind of like our S&P 500 trades from yesterday. I after 3 decades of doing this, man, you feel the airplane. And that Hornet, man, I knew each jet in my squadron. They had their. This is when I look at this, man. After giving you this brief, of course I would get long volatility. Right now, I already have some, but we can always go. We can always go out a little bit. Let me open up the strikes here, man. You just look. I mean, a 30 VIX 3 weeks out from here, almost 200,000. $4 away from here, 168. So, but ladies and gentlemen, you know, a 45. Jesus God. Yeah, March 35. Wow, look at the March 30s, folks. Look at the March 30s and the 35s. Look at I can believe. Look at the pricing of the 30s. $1. Look at the 35, 65 cents. Holy crap, man. That's actually, they're not cheap. So there are institutions, people, machines, family offices, hedge funds that are looking out into the future, folks. Boing, 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 boing. That can happen. It's a distinct possibility. Jerome Powell fell and hit my head this morning. We're done. Whoa. But everything's bad. The economy sucks. Everything sucks. Yeah, that's why I'm going to stop raising rates and I'm going to take a pause. Rip your face off rally. I guarantee you in 2023, I will be in a live trade brief that says, done. Done being bearish, buy with both hands. Hold on, Wiz. We're in a massive recession. Blah, blah. I don't give a shit what you just told me. Buy it with both hands. This will be when was that? March 22nd brief. that weekly jobless claims number of COVID, 6 million. I'm like, oh my God, sell the house, sell the wife and kids and get bearish. I'm getting ready to hit enter on that sentence. And Jerome Powell went boom. And I deleted all of that. And I said, buy everything with both hands. Jeffrey Gundlach said, no. All the smart money said no. Wiz said, buy it with both hands. I'm going to do the same thing this year. It ain't anytime soon, but it will happen this year. Okay. So there is your VIX discussion. Does anybody want to see? I mean, I'd probably go out. This is why I had a month out. I was looking at the Marches, the March. Do we? Yeah, man, I'm with you, Goose. I'm a June turn, June to later in the year. Could happen earlier. Something could happen. I always reserve the right to be wrong. It could be earlier than when I'm calling it. Look at a month out, folks. The March 28 calls down here. What's that? 10. That's a 30. Somebody do the quick math. 30% increase in the VIX. Does anybody not have their VIX on? Tina, Barry, you said you still have yours on. I mean, we have an existing this one. So, and look at the headline. I love when I write this shit. The time to get long volatility is now. The storm is here, man. All right, so people have them. Good. Jan, this one is out to February. If you want to give yourself a month, I'd go out a month. I would look at and look at 19. 19, right? I'm going to drop a 19 right there. Look at 19. Bounce, 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 bounce. So I put on a bull call spread. Maybe we haven't done this in a while. It's time for what? We kind of leg into a burner trade. Oh, I'm sorry, a double vertical. Pretty similar. How about a 19, 18, kind of bull put spread or something? Yeah, something like that. How about that? So we already have, how many contracts do we have on? 60. So we have 60 of a 25-30 bull call spread. And again, for all the new Full Throttle members, you got to go watch the Full Throttle training under the Full Throttle training. Getting a ton of stuff in my mastermind group thread. I don't know what's going on. I like that, Goose. You could go out to out a little bit. I'm looking at maybe marrying it up to the existing trade to offset some of the cost, right? What was the cost of this spread? Let me go back. There you go. Look at this. We spent $2,500 on this bull call spread. Why don't we sell and bring in 20? Look at this, $2,100. This is the trade I would do today. So essentially, we have a costless VIX trade. Now, listen to me. Warning Will Robinson as I'm grabbing a screenshot of this. Ladies and gentlemen, VIX 125. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. What is the risk on this? Well, there's a lot of risk. There's always risk. Peace in Ukraine. Jerome Powell pivot between now and 3 weeks from now. This could happen. Breaking news. Amazon earnings are insane. Jesus, came back to the planet and he took over for Andy Jack. I don't know, man. Everything, all the bad that I just briefed you on, all the exact opposite can happen. The market can rally and the VIX implode. You think 19's the resting heart rate, Wiz? The VIX is down at 10. Jesus, Muhammad, Ganesh, and Buddha all just came back to life, and they're running the world. I would love to lose money if that happened. So, that is a distinct possibility. That can happen. Anything can happen. Yeah, ask Bart. There's nothing new under the sun. So I do a good job of, just ask me, of briefing you on the potential threats. Those are all distinct possibilities. So let's go ahead. I'm doing that one. I'm going to put this in my personal account too, not just the training accounts. Nice trade, Paul. Look at Paul shooting a sniper in here at the 39.80, 39.85 for $1.40. You are crushing it in that trade right now, Paul. This is why you want to be in the investment clubs, man. There are great people in these groups, the Hunters and the Max Afterburner. Remember, if you're an annual member or a monthly, not quarterly, monthly $4.97, get in here in the Hunters. Really good trading going on. I'm really happy about that. Looks like we're going to do another leg down on the S&P 500. So again, guys and gals and days, it's up to you to manage your SPXs. You could always take the $4,000 in a day if you did the 5 and 2 ratio. You could close one of them. You could close both of them. Which one? Oh, this is a good discussion. Which one would I close first? Everybody answer it with me. The bear put spread. Why? Theta. Remember, when you buy something, unless it's an L39, when you buy something, it depreciates. The time decay, the theta eats away at it. Goose, you got to get your type rating, dude. We got to talk about that. I think Kid, I don't know if Kid's in here, Kid with the Veterans Cancer Prostate Association, we're going to be taking the jets to air shows, doing Top Gun experiences. Erin needs to get hers. We're going to get back from Costa Rica, and she's going to be walking on water, so she's going to get her type rating. Absolutely. You know what we need to do, Erin? We'll talk later. Maybe we'll do maybe you and Goose will do a package deal, man. And Kid, you're on here, or I'll text you. Kid, if you're listening, reach out to Mike, the Mike that I hooked you up with, and let's do like a 3-ship, man. Maybe we can do a weekend where all 3 of you knock out your stuff, and then you go up to Kissimmee and get your type rating. Oh, sorry, weird tangent. Or not weird. It's an awesome tangent. Let's get back to selling or buying something. I would close this. The debit spread first, and look, the debit spread's doing better. The debit spread is up 39% compared to the bear call spread of 28%, right? So I would keep the bear call spread open and maybe close the debit spread. No, Eric, we're talking about it. The Go Fly, the Kion team. Kion's like some sort of Brazilian crypto or payment system or whatever. They got to change the name of the team. There's a lot of discussions going on because they fly the 2 S211 Marchettis. We might make a mixed section of like a diamond formation of the Marchettis and the L39s. We might have the No Phone Heroes flight demonstration team. What better way to raise awareness for the tragedy of veteran suicide and first responders and their families than the air show circuit? I mean, Ponch brought this up to us years ago that the number one spectator sport in the world with NASCAR is what? Air shows. Number one spectator sport is NASCAR. People sitting outside watching air shows. We were at the Miramar Air Show. There was 1 million fucking people. I think I spoke to every one of them. 1 million people over that weekend. Me, Kid, Linda, Susie, Matthew stood at the tent and our jet T-shirts, patches, raising awareness. What's the No Fallen Heroes Foundation? Man, people didn't. There was active duty people we talked to who were having problems. I talked to a guy who's going to do the medicine. He was an F4 driver in Vietnam. Incredible stuff. Met Steve, our respected author, out at the air show. It was awesome. So, long rambling discussion about whether or not you want to close your Tredges. You're the pilot in command of your airplane. I think, Wiz, how you flying your airplane? I think there's more to go here. I mean, we're going to get some chop right around this 39.50, but that's, look at the little drill bit. These moving averages are magnets, man. And since we're in a spaghetti, since you're in a spaghetti crossing zone here, there's going to be some weirdness going on. There's going to be some ups and all over the place. So you can almost dogfight your Tredges right now. Wiz, I love $4,000 in a day or $3,600 in a day. Get out. It's not that's a great looking thing. Barry, the Hunter's monthly subscription of $497 includes the Hunters and Full Throttle. It does not include Solo Amazon. Lifetime includes everything. Yes, Lifetime includes the Max Afterburner group, Solo Amazon, the Full Throttles, and all that stuff. So does that make sense? So I'll tell you what, Barry, if you did monthly, I'll make this deal with you right now. If you did monthly Hunters of $497, I will throw in Solo Amazon because I'll put the ladder down. Shoot me an email and I'll hook you up, brother. If you want Solo Amazon, if you want to do the Hunters, which gives you your Full Throttle stuff and the Hunters, I will give you Solo Amazon. Ryan, I haven't looked at the former Death Star in a while. What a great deal, Barry. I'm in a great mood, so you're welcome. See, this is why you want me doing medicine work. This is why you want me helping people, because I love being in a great mood. Filled on the VIX. Ryan, I love your call, man, because this is way out of a range here. Amazon's down to 320. So, I thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it, man. I want to help people like you, Andrew, people in your angel son, man, who's speaking through you today and working through me. Your boys with me as well. Down here, man. So Ryan, I love that. We're kind of at a Goldman Sachs resting heart rate at 345. So Ryan, if you think there's a February shit show coming, Amazon, Goldman Sachs is going to get destroyed too. I love it. You got it, my brother. So I don't want to throw a trade over my shoulder with 1 minute left, but Ryan, if you're looking at bearish, when I say Goldman Sachs, I think of old Death Star, because back in the day, I would call Goldman Sachs the financial Death Star, and then what's his name? Lloyd Blankfein went away, and then now you got Salman, what's his name? The DJ. Yeah, I like, you know what? Let's do that tomorrow. Let me write that down. AR Goldman Sachs. All right. Good stuff, man. Great brief. Barry, I'm going to hook you up if you want the monthly. You know what? Not just Barry, obviously. If you want monthly Hunters, I will throw in Solo Amazon. I love this shit. Do me a favor before tomorrow, which is Accelerated Retirement. Listen to this podcast or watch it with Cody, because it's about the psychedelic space. The guy has $500 million in the psychedelic space. We are going Axe Capital on this. We're going to learn about the psychedelic space. I'm going to go, except the narcissist sociopath part of Bobby Axelrod. We're going to save lives. We're actually going to fucking help people because we have a conscience. So I'm excited for that. So please get up to speed with the podcast so you can know what's going on in the space. And if you ever have any questions, I can always put you in touch with Cody. The dude loves talking about the space and investing and all that stuff. So I'm excited about that. Barry, it's Wiz. If anybody wants that deal, shoot me an email, topgunoptions.com. I think I spelled that right, Barry. Wiz at topgunoptions.com. If you want the monthly hunters for $497, which gives you all your full throttle stuff and solo, it's almost, you know what it is? It's like mini lifetime. That's like a mini lifetime membership. You caught me in a good mood. Yeah, man, Bobby Orr. There you go. So, Bobby. And it's cool because you know who's going to be in the booth as well? Obviously, Daniel Carcillo's coming to the game, but Sean Thornton. If you're a hockey fan, Sean Thornton, two-time Stanley Cup winner at Boston. He finished his career at the Panthers, so he's like one of their VPs of something. So I know Sean, and I'm like, dude, got the GOAT coming to the booth. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, I'll meet him downstairs. We got him garage parking, right? I was going to give him one of my VIP parking passes, and they're like, no, he's going to park underneath the stadium because he can't even walk from the parking lot into the stadium for the Boston game. He'll be accosted. So Sean Thornton's going to be in the booth as well. So good stuff. All right, guys, I'll send out a text and email alert. It's technically not a weekly options trade, that VIX trade, but we did in here, so I'll send it out via text and email, and I'll get the replay posted here very shortly. Great brief. God is great. Happy birthday to my beautiful daughter, Keely. Good stuff is coming. Starting to get into the zone for the medicine. Arrow, I know you're doing your heads down work. Starting to fill out my manual and stuff like that. Well, maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow, man. I got my preparation workbook. I got my questions to start answering and stuff like that. I'm really excited. Can't wait. Can't wait for this journey. I'm going to miss my brothers in Mexico, Marcus, JT, JJ, and Robert, but I'm going to do an annual retreat now. Trevor and his bride, they do an annual retreat. I think Susie and I are going to do that. We're going to do like an annual knock the rust off. And it ain't fun. It is not fun. This is not a, hey, we're going to Cancun. This is work, but the work we're doing right now is worth it. All right, guys, good stuff. Well, Rick, it was either go with my brothers or go with our female fighter pilots, and I had already pledged Aaron and some other ladies and dudes. Trust me, I love my guys, but next year I'm going to make sure I'm not I'm going to deconflict with them. So you got it, Ryan. All right, guys. Mike, God is great all the time. God told me I have always been and I will always be, and I believe it. All right, guys and gals, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. Fights on, and namaste. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.